Hi, grade 11 students. Welcome back to our tutorial. For today's lesson, we'll talk about how to calculate your gross earnings and net earnings. It's essential to grasp this concept when it comes to budgeting and financial planning. With that in mind, let's get started right away. First thing first, what are gross earnings? Your gross earnings are your total income before any deductions. These earnings include your basic salary, overtime pay, allowances, and bonuses. To calculate your gross earnings, you need to add up all these components. Let's break it down. Let's start with your basic salary. This is the amount you agreed upon with your employer. It's the foundation of your earnings. Next, you add any overtime pay and allowances you receive. These are extra earnings you get for working beyond regular hours or specified purposes like transportation or meal allowances. If you have bonuses, don't forget to include them as well. Bonuses can be annual, performance-based, or any other type specified by your employer. To get your gross earnings, simply add your basic salary, overtime pay, allowances, and bonuses. You now have your total income before any deductions. Net earnings, also known as take-home pay. These are what you receive after deductions. These deductions typically include SSS contribution, GSIS contribution, PhilHealth contribution, and withholding taxes. An employee does not receive his total earnings during the payday. Generally, there are deductions from his gross earnings in order to compute for his net pay. To calculate your net earnings, you'll need to deduct the following. Income tax. The amount varies based on your income bracket and tax exemptions. Social Security contributions. This includes both the employee and the employer contributions. PhilHealth, that's typically about 300 pesos. Pag-ibig, SSS loan if you have any, cash advance, Pag-ibig loan, and to get the total deductions, just simply add all of them. Net earnings may be defined as the amount earned by any person from the gross earnings less the total deductions. It's also known as the net income, net pay, or take-home pay. NE equals GE minus TD, where NE is the net earnings, GE is the gross earnings, and TD is the total deductions. From the given example, net earnings is equal to gross earnings minus total deductions. Once you subtract these deductions from your gross earnings, you'll arrive at your net earnings. This is the amount that will be deposited in your bank account. Remember to cross-check your calculations with your payslip to ensure accuracy. Employers usually provide detailed breakdowns of total deductions. Let's have an example. Maria works as a nurse at a private hospital in Marikina City. She wants to calculate her gross and net earnings for the month of June. Her monthly basic salary is 20,000 pesos, and she also receives a monthly transportation allowance of 3,000 pesos. During June, she worked overtime and earned an additional 2,500 pesos. Her employer offers a performance bonus of 5,000 pesos. Maria is subject to a 10% income tax and contributes 8% of her salary to the Social Security system. Her employer also deducts a monthly health insurance premium of 1,000 pesos. To calculate Maria's gross earnings, we add up Maria's basic salary, which is 20,000 pesos, overtime pay, 2,500 pesos, transportation allowance, which is 3,000 pesos, performance bonus, 5,000 pesos. So her total gross earnings is 30,500 pesos for the month of June. Next, let's calculate her total deductions. Income tax, which is 10% of her gross earnings. 10% of 30,500 pesos is 3,050 pesos. Her SSS contribution is 8% of her gross salary. Her gross salary is 20,000 pesos. 8% of 20,000 pesos is 1,600 pesos. Health insurance premium, which is 1,000 pesos. Now her total deductions is 5,650 pesos. Now let's calculate Maria's net earnings. To calculate Maria's net earnings, we need to deduct all the deductions from her gross earnings. Maria's gross earnings is 30,500 pesos, and the total deductions is 5,650 pesos. Maria's net earnings for June after deductions amount to 24,850 pesos. To calculate Maria's net earnings, we need to deduct all the deductions from her gross earnings. Maria's gross earnings is 30,500 pesos, and the total deductions is 5,650 pesos. Maria's net earnings for June after deductions amount to 24,850 pesos. To sum it up, your gross earnings are your total income before deductions, including your basic salary, overtime pay, allowances, and bonuses. Your net earnings are what you take home after taxes, contributions, and deductions. Understanding these figures is vital for effective financial planning. All right, before we move on, I encourage you to pause this video and take a moment to solve this problem on your own. It's a great way to test your understanding and reinforce the concepts we have just covered. When you're ready, hit play and we'll go over the solution together. John works as an accountant in Marikina and earns monthly gross salary of 35,000 pesos. His gross salary includes his basic salary and some allowances. However, he has deductions from his salary, which include income tax, SSS contributions, and health insurance, amounting to a total of 4,500 pesos. So we are given the gross salary, which is 35,000 pesos, deductions amounting to 4,500 pesos. To find John's net earnings, we need to subtract his deductions from his gross salary. So John's monthly earnings is 30,500 pesos. Now it's quiz time. What is the primary difference between gross earnings and net earnings? If your monthly gross salary is 18,000 pesos and you have 2,500 pesos in deductions, what are your monthly net earnings? In Marikina, a teacher earns a monthly gross salary of 25,000 pesos. If the teacher's deductions for income tax, SSS contributions, and health insurance amount to 3,000 pesos, what are the teacher's net earnings? Gross earnings for a salesperson include a monthly salary of 20,000 pesos, a monthly commission of 5,000 pesos. If the salesperson has a total of 2,000 pesos in deductions, what are their net earnings? Maria's gross earnings for a month are 40,000 pesos. She has deductions of 5,000 pesos, which includes income tax and a retirement plan contribution. What are Maria's net earnings for the month? Okay, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.